Yo, another video. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about pushing patience along your fitness journey. And usually not usually, but kind of when I first, it was like a meme back then. I don't think it's like a meme really much anymore, right? But pushing patience when it comes to your fitness journey, right? And I feel like some of the things that we make it hard, we do make it hard on ourselves usually. For whatever reason it may be, right? Because sometimes I like to make it hard on myself sometimes, because trying to prove it to myself or trying to prove it to somebody that I can go hard or I can do this or do that. But in essence, it really isn't. That's not really conducive. Like, it doesn't help. Really doesn't. Like, it doesn't work, right? So, how can we become more patient along our fitness journey, whether it be losing weight, building muscle, being in a maintenance, whatever that may be, strength, speed, whatever we're going for, right? And I feel like for me, like on this day, the first thing that comes to mind is being content with who you are and being in the moment. Not contempt, I guess that's the word, being content with who you are, man. Because you're like, when you're impatient for like a fat loss journey and stuff like that, you tend to be too much focused on the end result. You keep thinking like, I want to get here, I want to get here, I want to get here, I want to get here. And the more that you focus up here, the more that you're up here, it's almost like you're having mini panic attacks, mini anxiety attacks all the time, because you're so focused on the end destination, on the end goal, And I'm sure you've probably seen it like on Instagram or TikTok, wherever y'all watch your videos, is, the man who enjoys walking will walk further than the man who only does it for like the destination. You know what I mean? Like, if you enjoy the process more, you'll be much more patient. And I feel like we tend to make the process a lot harder than it usually needs to be along our fitness journey, because I feel like, over time there was a big stigma because of bodybuilding in and of itself, because bodybuilding is a rough sport. It's not easy. And since bodybuilding moved more towards into the fitness industry, which is basically, bodybuilding is like the fitness industry, bodybuilding pushes a lot of chicken, broccoli, rice, and just certain foods that is, specific for the sport. But we're all normal dudes, we're all humans, we all live in the age of information. It's not like we're all trying to compete in bodybuilding, right? So we don't have to take that route. You don't have to do the chicken, broccoli, rice. You don't have to do all of this stuff, right? Because you can make your journey, like, you can make the patience much more easier along the way once you're more content with yourself. And I feel like when you find contempt with yourself, like finding that, it comes from trying different things, and it comes from figuring out things that work best for you. It's like, once you find something that works for you for like the next 3, 4, 5 weeks or something like that, and it feels a lot easier and enjoyable, you feel much more at ease, man. It's like, for example, for me, one of the things that helped me become much more patient along the journey was is intermittent fasting. Like a form, there's like a billion forms of intermittent fasting. There's a billion forms, but for me, the way that I see it is I like to push my meals, like my calories, like the majority of my calories, late during the day, and so that I can have bigger meals, because I'd rather be hungry, a little bit hungry throughout the day than be hungry at night. You know what I mean? I'd rather be a lot fuller before I go to bed than having some sort of like an empty stomach before I go to bed, right? So that also comes from experimenting. I know I say this a billion times, but I think we need to be reminded more than we do need to be taught. So always try different things, always be researching, always be in the research and development facility trying to figure out what works best for you, because it will always be changing. Like, there's always going to be things that changing. Like, the foods that you eat are always going to be changing. You're not going to always want to crave the same food each and every single day. There's going to be a time where you get food intolerance, and over time you're going to want to eat something different. And if you don't have, that tool in your tool belt in order to keep on, building your house, it's going to be a lot harder. It's going to be very hard to maintain that consistency over time. So I feel like one of the things that'll help you be much more patient along your journey is to try different things. You know what I mean? Try intermittent fasting. Try even try keto, try veganism, try the 6 meals per day, try 2 meals per day, try, eating veggies throughout the day and then have a bigger meal at night. Maybe put 500 calories and then spread that 500 calories out throughout the day somehow, and then later have a 1,500 calorie meal. There's a billion things that you can do. You don't have to follow the bodybuilding chicken, broccoli, and rice type deal forever. Like, you don't have to. We live in the age of information. There's a billion things that we can do. And of course, I know it might be a little bit overwhelming in the beginning, but as you start to try things and as you start to realize that this isn't for me, you start to figure out what works best for you. And I can only best explain that if you try those things, right? So it's gonna be pretty much it for the video, man. Just thinking about how, you know, in order to push patience, you gotta try different things. And, you know, you gotta enjoy the process. And enjoying the process, the way you can do that is by figuring out things that work best for your situation. You know, if you have like a job and you're trying to eat the 4 or 5 meals per day, and every time, you know, you have to move to the side, you have to go over here and you have to eat your meal, and you really don't enjoy it because it makes the whole room smell or something like that, like you don't like that, it doesn't work best for you, then try something else. Maybe try intermittent fasting. You know, maybe have a couple cups of coffee in the morning before 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then have water throughout the day, then have, like, you know, smaller meals, maybe 200 calories, 400 calorie meal, and then later throughout the night you can have a bigger meal. You know, there's tons of different things that you can do to be flexible for your situation in life, but don't make it hard on yourself, bro. You don't have to make it hard on yourself. And I feel like as men, we usually try and make things hard on ourselves when it doesn't necessarily have to be, because we have to prove something to somebody else, bro. I know for a fact a lot of people out there like to do crazy shit or try and do super hard workouts just so they could post it on their Instagram or post it on their fucking Snap, so that you can show everybody that's on your Snap, oh, this, I work hard, oh, I do this, oh, I ran 20 miles today. Like that's cool and all, but at the end of the day, man, that approval, that sense of validation has to come from yourself. You don't want to be chasing other people's validation. You know, it's you'll realize as you get older, people really are much more focused on themselves than they are on you. Even though, you know, when you're young, you tend to think that everybody thinks about you. You tend to walk in a room and you tend to think that, oh, everybody's thinking about me. You know, it's not really the case, you know. So, pushing patience, try different things, do different things, because at the end of the day, we live in an age of information. Might be overwhelming, but there's things that we can do in order to maintain that enjoyment. You know, I mean, Fit Motive, that's basically what it's about. It's enjoyment and commitment. I mean, it's enjoyment and bird had like 6 twigs, but it's enjoyment, consistency, to get that consistent commitment along your journey. So that's really what it is, man. We're all figuring out what we're all trying to, basically all figuring out what works best for us, man. There's no one size fit all when it comes to fitness. There's no short-term solution for a long-term problem. There truly isn't when it comes to fat loss. You know, I mean, not fat loss, but fat loss too. But I mean, in fitness in general, there really isn't, you know, one size fit all, or there's no, you can do this and you can get a result quick and it'll last forever, because lasting results stay there forever. And like I said, man, if you're impatient, you know, it usually comes from wanting to get there too quick. And the quicker you get there, you're gonna have really slow problems that'll haunt you for the rest of your life. Because I saw this in a podcast. A guy was talking about, you know, fast money equals slow problems that will haunt you for the rest of your life. And I kind of feel like it's the same thing with, you know, losing fat. If you try and get too fast results, if you try and get too fast results too soon, you end up burning, you end up crashing, you end up messing up your metabolism, you end up being put in a position where it's really not going to be so healthy, and it's not going to really maintain that consistency. Because if you can maintain that consistency throughout a year, you're far you know, ahead than most people, right? You got to work hard, and you also at the same time you got to work smart. You know what I mean? It's both. There's both into the equation. Sometimes you got to be a little bit more smarter than working harder, and sometimes you got to work a lot harder than being smarter. But it's always a balance. It's a balance of the two, working hard and working smart. You know, when it comes to losing fat, when it comes to building muscle, when it comes to fitness in general, with whatever your goals are for your future, even if it's just to be more healthy, even if it is just to be more mobile, move more, and things of that nature, man. So pushing patience, for me, today, the way that I see it, the first things that came to my mind is make it enjoyable, man. Don't make it so hard on yourself, because I know we usually tend to make it hard on ourselves because we're trying to prove something to others, but at the end of the day, you know, you should prove it to yourself that you can be consistent, because working hard and working smart at the same time is going to yield you far greater results than if you were to just be that guy, oh, he just works hard. Like, working hard is just working hard. You know, you want results, you want to have results that last forever with that hard work. You know what I mean? So, with that hard work and working smart at the same time, right? So, it's going to be pretty much it for this video. Appreciate you guys. Much love.